Hey, welcome. Today we are digging into the mind's hidden blueprints. Those powerful, often totally invisible forces that shape who we are, how we act, and, well, why we do the things we do. Let's get into it.
So let me start by asking you this. What if your earliest experiences are still pulling the strings today? I mean, what if they're influencing your biggest decisions without you even knowing it? That's the core idea we're going to explore. All right, so first up, let's look at this whole concept of a hidden inner world. It's really the foundation for all psychodynamic theories.
So, what even is psychodynamic theory? Well, think of it like a special kind of lens. It's really a whole group of ideas that are all laser focused on one thing: understanding the unseen drivers of our personality. We're talking about the unconscious mind, right? The lasting echo of our childhood and that constant push and pull of our inner conflicts. And you just can't talk about this stuff without starting with the man who drew the original blueprint, Sigmund Freud. I mean, his ideas were absolutely revolutionary, and they pretty much set the stage for everything that came after.
So, Freud's big idea was that our personality isn't something we're just born with. Nope. He argued that it's built piece by piece through a series of really critical stages in our first few years of life. And he broke this whole development down into what he called the 5 psychosexual stages. Each one centers on a specific part of the body. And if a person gets, stuck or fixated because of some conflict in a stage, it could totally shape their adult personality. For instance, if you get stuck in the oral stage, that might lead to habits like nail biting. Or conflicts during the anal stage, which is all about control, could influence whether you're super neat or, well, the opposite. Each one of these steps was seen as a crucial building block. But it wasn't just about moving through these stages. According to Freud, our mind is basically a battlefield. It's a place of constant negotiation between 3 really powerful competing forces.
And this table just lays it out perfectly. First, you've got the id. This is pure, raw instinct. It wants what it wants, and it wants it right now. It's basically the little devil on your shoulder. Then, on the other shoulder, you have the superego. That's your moral compass, the little angel telling you what you should do. And caught right in the middle is the ego. It's the practical referee just trying to make the id happy without ticking off the superego, all while dealing with the real world. So a healthy personality, that's all about the ego doing a really good job as the mediator.
Now, Freud laid some incredible groundwork, but his theory definitely wasn't the final word. Pretty soon, other thinkers came along and started redrawing parts of his map. And this became known as the neo-Freudian shift. Look, Freud's ideas were a total game changer, no doubt about it. But they had a very, very specific focus. A lot of his theory really zeroed in on psychosexual stuff and the battles happening inside our own heads. Which, led a lot of people to ask, is that really the whole story? What about our friends, our culture, our place in the world? Is our personality only shaped from the inside out? And this is exactly where the neo-Freudians come into the picture. These were brilliant thinkers who agreed with Freud on the big stuff, like the power of the unconscious and how important childhood is. But they argued he'd missed a huge piece of the puzzle: the entire world outside our own heads, our social circles, our culture, our relationships. Today, we're going to look at 3 of these mavericks: Alfred Adler, Carl Jung, and Erich Fromm. Each one took Freud's original blueprint and added their own fascinating new dimension to it. So first up is Alfred Adler. For him, the central story of human life wasn't about sex or pleasure. It was about the fundamental human drive to overcome our feelings of weakness. Adler believed we all start out life feeling small and helpless. That creates this basic feeling of inferiority. But he didn't see this as a bad thing. He saw it as the main engine for our growth. It's what fuels our striving for superiority, that universal drive we all have to get better and master challenges. He also talked about social interest, our deep need to connect with people and contribute to society. And maybe his most famous idea was birth order. Adler argued that whether you're the oldest, the middle child, or the baby of the family could profoundly shape your entire outlook on life. Makes you think, right?
Next, we've got Carl Jung, who took things in a much more, well, mystical direction. He believed we're all connected to this deep, shared psychological inheritance, almost like a collective human myth.
So Jung came up with this amazing idea of a collective unconscious. He saw it as a sort of reservoir of images and ideas shared by all of humanity across all time. And inside it are what he called archetypes. These are universal templates for characters and experiences. The hero, the wise old man, the shadow. Think of them like the character types you see in basically every movie, book, and myth. They resonate with us so deeply because, according to Jung, they're already a part of us. Oh, and by the way, he also gave us the terms we use every single day: introversion and extroversion. And finally, let's talk about Erich Fromm. He brought the focus back to a very human, very modern struggle, that constant tension between our desire for freedom and our desperate need to belong.
Fromm believed that our deepest, most fundamental drive is for relatedness, that need to connect with other people. But he saw that modern life creates this strange paradox. We want freedom, we want to be our own person, but we're also terrified of the loneliness that can come with it. This tension can lead to what he called alienation, where we just end up conforming to what society expects of us so we can fit in, and we risk losing our true selves in the process. His work really captures that struggle to be an individual and still be part of a community. So, okay, these are complex ideas, and a lot of them are a century old. So why are we still talking about them? Why do they still matter? Well, it's because their echo is just undeniable. They gave us this groundbreaking idea that our childhood fundamentally shapes who we become as adults. They gave us a new language, words like ego, introvert, inferiority complex, to actually talk about our inner worlds. And maybe most importantly, they remind us that we are creatures driven by these deep, hidden forces, and that our need for connection is just as powerful as any internal instinct we have. So I'll leave you with this thought to chew on. Is it the echo of your past, the drive to overcome, the ancient archetypes you embody, or that deep need to belong? Which of these hidden forces is writing your story right now?